Guys, I'm kind of actually in awe. It is Sunday after church. Mister's trying to look at me, so he keeps moving his head way back like that. So that is what he is doing as he chews on his finger. So we were able to put an offer in. And so that was super exciting. Tell you about that. So I had to get him in a different position. So yes, we put the offer in. I got a thing back and from the, what do they call? Not the realtor, the finance guy. I got a thing back from the finance guy. He asked if we would be willing to rent our property, which was fine with us. We've been trying to decide this whole time what we wanted to do with the property that we have up north. So it's not that we don't want to sell the property. It's more like it will take a while to sell the property and it might sell under what the actual, like, we just put a heck of a lot of work into it. We put in, let's see, the septic system was like $35,000. We put a roof on it. We did a well. Like, we put in a lot of work to the property. And so we didn't want to sell it for less than the work that we just put into it. I know that sounds silly, but it's already paid off. So the only thing that we pay on it is insurance and taxes right now. Even though we have 36 acres altogether, taxes for 36 acres where we are is not that much, like under $2,000. So, yeah, we were just like, we're not opposed to selling the property, yet we know in reality it's not going to sell that quick. So we wanted to be honest with that. And so he's like, well, what about renting the property? And I said, I don't know, let me put a couple feelers out there. We were kind of thinking maybe what we would do last time we were up there, when we were doing the homesteading stuff, getting stuff off the apple trees and stuff, we were kind of like, well, just the property makes sense for us because we have all these trees and everything, hunting. It's near. So the town that we lived in was called Sportsman's Paradise. So there's lots of lakes and stuff. So we kind of wanted to keep, we're like, well, even if we just kind of let the kids use that. Also, we have a lot of older kids. If somebody needs to rent someplace at some point, it would make more sense in this type of economy to, if something is already paid off. Also, we're going into a huge loan if we're to get anything down here. And what if something bad happens? Anyway, so we kind of decided it would be best if we rented. So if we rented the property, we were thinking maybe we'd rent it. We probably could make more money instead of renting year round to rent just like weekly, weekend stuff throughout the summer because of the location of where it is. So we're kind of thinking, okay, next spring, we're going to like revamp this house to make it look nice. Like nice, not like, hey, a family can move in here. Nice, like somebody would want to move into here like for a vacation, right? Like just peaceful and that type of nice. So we're like, we're going to work on that starting next spring. We're going to drain the pipes and then we'll work on that next spring. Well, he said, well, could you rent it? So then he said, well, if you can rent it for at least $500 a month, then we can give you this loan for this amount of money, which would be enough to cover the house. Now, us financially, we've kind of run numbers. Is it tight? Yes, it is tight for us financially. I think life is tight for us financially. Life's tight for a lot of people financially. We don't have oodles of money just pouring out of our pockets. We both work hard and, just make it work. I think that's what most Americans do. I know some of y'all, you make money and you're doing great. Some of y'all are having a really hard time. But most of you guys are probably like me. You make it to paycheck and your bills are paid, right? What else can, and your people are fed. That's what counts in life. So I'm like, well, let me see. I can do whatever. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to rate it as that you are going to rent it. So it's going to be a contingency on renting the property up there. So I was like, okay, that sounds okay. So I guess the realtor and him had talked, and she was like, I really would like to see if they could try to get into this place. So we put an offer in, and my realtor like kind of helped make recommendations for the price that we should go with. And so we put an offer in, and then about halfway we put an offer in. It was like 5 o'clock, and then the next day around noon, 1ish, something like that, she's like, okay, so there's a personal representative for this house, for this thing. They're not able to contact them, like they haven't been able to get in touch with them. Are you willing to like put an extension, because they have 24 hours to tell you yes or no if they'll accept the offer. Are you willing to put an extension in? And I said, yes, I'll put an extension in throughout the weekend. And she's like, great. So then she calls me, and she was like, they accepted your offer. The only thing that they didn't was like this thing that was like, we asked for 2.5%, and they said they would do 2 and not the 0.5. So I'm like, yeah, let's go with it. So rewrote that, signed that off. So yeah, I cannot believe it, guys. It feels really like surreal, totally surreal. Because I know there's been comments on here. I know everyone doesn't feel like this place is up to standard, or maybe that there's lots of work to be done on this house or anything like that. But for me, this place is perfect. I don't mind putting work in. For me, it has land, which is hard to come by. I mean, this house is 3,600 square feet, and it's the same price or at the same price point. It's like $20,000 more than the house that we put an offer in before, and that was 1,300 square feet. So this is like the price difference that we're seeing. So I know it's crazy. I feel almost like it's not real. So I don't know, like when she first told me, which was yesterday afternoon, I was like, okay. And then I was like, told my husband, and he's like, are you excited? And I'm like, yeah, but I think that especially the days prior, which you guys have been along in this journey, I feel like the days prior, I was like setting myself up to not be disappointed. So I was setting myself up to, okay, this is our next step. This is what we're going to do, because it looked so far out there, so far reaching. I was thinking that they had put in that we would sell the house just because he knew that there was no way that we would actually qualify. So I was like, okay, this is really weird. Anyway, the issue is with everything is they're only including my husband's income, because my husband's credit score so is really high. It's 8 something, which is really good. So he has a really good credit score, where my credit score is lower because my debt income ratio is different. So they decided that it would be better off for us to just put it into his name. But that means that none of my income is included in the loan. So I don't make a lot of money, but I make a little. But he felt that it would be better this way. Hi. He's so sweet. It's so sweet. Like this is him. He just likes to snuggle. He just likes snuggling hubbups. You would think that he was like sleeping, but he's not sleeping. He's just kind of looking in the area. Huh, buddy? Yeah. He's so cozy. He's like clapping his hands together. Did you hear your sister playing over there? My older daughter was like, hey, can I take the kids over to the school, Miss Naris? And so during the weekend, they can like ride their bikes and scooters, and there's basketball courts and stuff. Yeah. So yes, we're at next steps. So we have to give the earnest deposit this week. She's going to pick up some paperwork from the town, I guess. Yeah, the good thing is about this town is, one, the dump looks like it doesn't have lots of fees. We pay a lot of money. Right now, we pay like almost $200 a month to throw our trash away. And we're so used to like composting and like burning our trash or reusing like paper goods or whatever it might be that it's just so weird to have to pay so much money for trash. So that is good. And the taxes are a lot less there than they are in the last house that we were looking for. It's almost half, actually. Nothing's like up north, but the taxes for the property will be less, so that will be good. I'm just amazed. I don't know. I think that me and my husband both like fell in love with the place, yet we were thinking like this is, I don't want to say too good for us. Too much of a dream, like to be within the distance for the hospital and to have land and to have a big house is just like all the boxes. Little things can be dealt with, right? We were just content with, finding something with a yard. But God knows the desires of our heart, and it just feels beautiful that like he's done this, and now we can see like inviting people over, and it's just it feels pretty special. What do you think, bud? Pretty special? I know, sweet pea. So that is it. I don't know what the next steps are, but I don't know if I shared with you. Did you know that there's a mystery potential room? I don't know. There was a door that was screwed shut in this house. It was at the end of the long hall upstairs, and we don't know what's behind the door. So we have asked if we could get permission to unscrew the door on Tuesday. So if we get permission to do that, then I'll update you what's behind the door. Yeah, I know. It's exciting. Until next time, I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. I'll say bye.